Hello folks, Reverend Crystal Cox here, and this is part 2 of the food co-op in Port Townsend, Washington, arresting 20-year member owner Rachelle Burt for not wearing a mask. She was allegedly arrested for trespassing, but she was accused of trespassing because she refused to wear a mask in a member-owned food co-op. So part 1 will be linked in the description, and the video of Rachelle being arrested will be linked in the description. This is part 2, and we're going over the discussion thus far. I'm sure it will change, but anyway. So, Port Townsend Food Co-op, member owned. Here we go, where we left off. So, we left off at, not blaming law enforcement. However, law enforcement at some point, we would hope that they would uphold their oath to obey the Constitution over a public mandate. However, the Port Townsend police were not, I don't have no issue with them. Okay, so she was arrested for trespassing. Fixed. I wrote that on the fly in the parking lot. Okay, but she was arrested for not wearing a mask. That's what led to the trespassing. Sometimes people are arrested for trespassing when they steal, too. Okay, there could be different issues. She was arrested, and the arrest was enforced and insisted upon by the food co-op. Okay, so Mike says, no, I'll blame the police too. The police did the very same thing to Jews and non-Jews who did not comply in Germany to the local politicians and their allegiance to the state. The Port Townsend police are lemmings in spite of their swearing in to defend the Constitution. Plain and simple. As soon as they brought her outside, all they had to do is tell her to leave. They did not have to incarcerate her. Okay, wait until you're next for some similar unsubstantial reason. Exactly. Everybody loves it when someone's banned, for example, online for something. But it could happen to you, right? So when it is something that you've done thousands of pages of research and years of research on, and that you really know, and they force it on you and your family, then it might be different. Wait until you're next for some similar, unsubstantial reason. No need for your fear-mongering here. He's fear-mongering? Wow, I don't know any of these people, but the masks are fear-based. The only reason to wear a mask, as proven to be not effective, is for fear of catching something that even if you catch it will only last a couple weeks, and yes, some people are dying of it, just like some people die of the flu or a cold. The fear-mongering is the ones wearing the masks. Okay, Mike, old stuff. Okay, even attempting to relate this woman to the plight of the Jews is disgusting. It is similar to having our peers police us, and the police policing us, and they're doing the work of their overlord that is evil and spouting lies, and especially at a food co-op of non-traditional medicine, when the mask mandate is enforced by traditional medicine and an 80-year-old Dr. Fauci, and you know how many times Bill Gates has been to Epstein Island? Why do you trust these people, and why is that more important than the values of what a food co-op stands for? Okay, she was trespassing and arrested for creating a scene and not complying with basic decency. Yeah, don't agree with that. Really, are you sure about that? Read up on the very early stages of Nazism and get back to me. Luckily, they taught us about it while I was in school. I think I'm the last generation to learn reality. Oh my goodness. I do know about it. Comparing a paper mask to wearing the Star of David is ridiculous. She's in a public place. It's not really. It's a member owned. She's in a place that she was part owner and was simply asked to comply or leave. That is not leading to the gas chambers. I guess what he's saying is, look at how it started. Okay, since I don't friend request people, I'm going to assume you friend requested me at some point. I'm glad I figured out your views. Did not friend you, do not know you. My family lost everything. Okay, read up on the very early stages. Okay, complete communism. Okay, they're commenting to each other. She coughed on an employee, question mark. I guess someone accused her of coughing on an employee. Maybe that was removed. I didn't see that. It appeared to me she never had a mask on. Make up your mind. Did she have a mask on or not? Can't have it both ways to fit your narrative. Shame on her for wasting taxpayer dollars for a show. She's an owner. She's an owner of the food co-op. And wasting tax dollars? Take a look at the Michael Allman case. Taking a homeless man's dog. They've spent tens of thousands on top of tens of thousands just to keep this man's 7-year-old dog. I'm not sure. I mean, is this part of the farm's reach or I guess I'm not sure. I don't know who people are and stuff, but it's not a show to stand up for your rights and your beliefs, especially in a food co-op, where that's what the whole point is about. Do you know how hard I fought in Montana to get the food co-op? Okay, get local health food stores had to fight to even be open. Mainstream system. People providing cures that the local food co-op sells now, we had to fight for those. I know people that would come in and have their homes completely turned upside down by the FTC, by all these different agencies and now places like the food co-op are allowed to sell this stuff. It's not what a food co-op is about. It's not what farm to table is about. Just saying, they say they respect the police, and yet they continue to make their lives harder on purpose. That doesn't make any sense to me. What about making our life harder? What about us hyperventilating and freaking out or having claustrophobic or domestic violence or all kinds of issues and having to wear a mask? Oh, or if we've read tons of documentation on how masks are unhealthy, why can't we be in charge of our own health? And how is that making anyone else's life harder? One could make the case that they were making her life harder. And on purpose? It's called standing up for something. It's called speaking up for something. It's called doing your homework and knowing the truth. It's not about respecting or not respecting the police. They didn't have to call the police in on it. They could have simply ignored her and let her shop. Okay, it is ridiculous. Absolutely, and the businesses that are put in jeopardy of getting fined if people aren't wearing masks, where is the respect for the co-op? Okay, see, now that's true. So how's that go? So can you find a co-op? A co-op's member owned, right? So if the co-op, if one member goes in without a mask and they get, say, $1,000 fine, and there's like 20,000 members, aren't we all supposed to pay that fine? Right? And so that puts it back on, it's not really a private property. It's a public property, right? Because if you don't do what the government in Port Townsend says, then you get a fine. How is that freedom? How is that anything to do with co-ops' morals and values? And like the businesses downtown, they open, they get fined. They're like, okay, we're opening now. They get all their new stock. Oh, darn, we can't. All right? They got rent, they got electric, they got insurance, and they got fines. Okay? There is no need for government in Port Townsend. Okay? It's just a massive amount of money going to just oppress people. Port Townsend's cool. There's a lot of really cool people here. But this is not part of it. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I don't even know if I'll read all these ones. Okay, absolutely. Okay, and this really does need to be addressed. The same folks who organized their black and blue Trump culp stunt this summer almost ran over people. I saw people mooning them. Why does it have to be about politics? Why can't you guys just say what you believe and not have it be about these same people? I'm not those people. I wasn't part of that. And I'm a member and I don't believe any of this. Why do you guys have to lump groups of people together? Why can't you just say, I believe this, and I've done my homework, and here's my proof, and here's my studies, and then someone else says, I believe this. Why do you lump us all together with a bunch of people? I didn't do no back the blue. I didn't do no culp stunt. And I absolutely believe that she should not have been arrested, and this is ridiculous and unlawful and unconstitutional and immoral and unethical and nothing to do with the Great Spirit in any way, shape, or form. Okay, created a public nuisance. What the public nuisance is the mask mandate. The government oppressing all the businesses. That's the public nuisance. Okay, that several businesses complained drove away business. Now is organizing their efforts to further harm local business. Okay, I really like this girl, and I mean no disrespect to you. However, it's not to harm local businesses, okay? The government, the mask mandate that is in this county, that is not everywhere in the United States, is what hurt businesses, shut down businesses, closed restaurants forever. People lost buildings. People lost everything because of the government that harmed local businesses, not the people who do not believe in the masks. Okay? There is no way that I believe that wearing a mask is going to save me from a deadly pandemic virus. That is just cartoonish. And I've been studying alternative medicine for 35 years, well, 45 years, since I was 15, 35 years, and helped tons of people cure themselves of everything. There's a cure for all of it, and especially a food co-op. Okay, so those of us who call to defund the police really want a less militarized police. I agree with that. And we would love to offer community support to change the structural issues that get people caught in the poverty. Cops don't need to do, okay. That's not really what this is about. But these back the blue criminals organizing stunts like this instead of, okay, so I'm going to lump myself in that because I completely believe in what she did. So I'm a criminal because I'm standing up for my values and my rights. I've done research for 35 years, so I'm a criminal. I'm a criminal because I don't listen to Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates, who's been to Epstein Island how many times? I'm a criminal organizing a stunt because I'm standing up for what I believe in. I don't believe that at all. And again, I mean no disrespect to you. I've met you. I like you. It's not the point. Okay, it does not matter if she's the mother of 3 or 5 or that she's a member of the co-op. Masks are required. I'm glad to know the co-op is enforcing the rules set and posted. Okay, so are they rules or are they laws? Okay, and you don't care if she's a member? What if it's you next on some issue that you find important? And masks are required? Okay, well, that's not law. It is a place that to get food. It is a public utility. We need the food. But the co-op especially, we own it. We are the member owners. Yep, just load them on the boxcar. Are you comparing her to Jewish people that were murdered by Nazis? I'm doing no such thing. I did not mean to respond to you. I was responding to the man below your comment. I know you would never do that. Oh, my gosh. Okay, Jan, you are glad that this woman and others are beginning to be cut off from essential items such as groceries? This is a dangerous and slippery slope. Yeah, because it could happen to any of you for any reason that they deem appropriate in their rules. Whatever the rules are next, and you're saying you'll comply. No one, whether for medical, like inability to wear masks or otherwise, should be cut off from essential needs such as food. Please stop participating. I'm not going to say that word. I don't want the video to be shut off. Please stop participating in the ideology that people be cut off of essential living needs for a false sense of security. That is not love. That is selfish, hate, and is far more lethal than that. I agree. What a food co-op is about love. Hugs, right? Touching people, smiling at people, being out in the farm and eating from the land and healthy items, right? Items, yes, to live, to feed her family. And you want her cut off from it because she doesn't go with a mandate made up by an 80-year-old Dr. Fauci and a whole bunch of political... I mean, why did states start opening up as soon as Biden got in? Do you guys not know any of this stuff? And before you go calling me a conservative, I'm a pagan. I'm a lesbian. I'm a witch, okay? I don't fall into any of your labels of, oh, the conservatives are all bad. You know, think for yourself and don't label a whole group of people, okay? I don't consider myself a conservative. I don't like human trafficking, that's for sure. Biden loves it. And I don't like war. Biden loves it. And wow, man, I couldn't believe it. How refreshing, right? My whole lifetime, always in war, 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 war. And then 4 years of this man named Trump and no war? I was a little bit shocked. That was pretty cool, right? If I could pick a door, war or no war, I'd pick no war, right? As soon as Biden got in, we started killing people. Okay? All the kids in cages? Massive, hundreds of thousands of people human trafficked every year, every month. That all stopped with Trump. That sure did make me look. And don't be calling me a conservative. The conservatives wouldn't be calling me a conservative. All right, curbside pickup is a safe accommodation for one who has a mental block or a physical handicap and can't wear a mask. Okay, so if I've been abused or choked or smothered as a child, that's a physical handicap to you? If I've been traumatized by someone who can't wear a mask, or if I'm claustrophobic, all these reasons are a physical handicap or a mental block? Boy, I don't have a mental block. Like I said, I just turned 50. I've read hundreds of thousands, millions of articles. I've studied alternative medicine every which way for decades upon decades upon decades. I've helped hundreds to thousands of people cure themselves naturally. I don't got no mental block. Okay, I'm a researcher. I'm a critical thinker. I know this stuff. Okay, it's nothing to do with a mental block or a physical handicap. It's critical thinking. It is not the law to wear a mask. But it's kinda, huh? And important and morally sound decision. Morals? Oh my gosh, so the police can cuff us for morals. At a food co-op. Okay, and important and a morally sound decision that those who care about their fellow community members abide by easily. Okay, not true. Okay, I have to care about them, so I'm supposed to wear a mask. If the mask makes me sick, hurts my throat, hurts me in any way, they don't care about me. I have to care about them, right? And they're believing Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates, the pedophile, right? Because I've studied massive amounts of documents, millions of documents over decades. I know what I'm talking about. And I have made a sound decision. And I have made a moral decision. And I am close to God, and I am close to Spirit, and I am close to the divine. So you think the masks are moral? Again, Autumn, no disrespect to you. I've met you. I like you. But I found your card downtown and called you up and returned it to you. I have no issue with you, but I completely disagree with this respectfully. A co-op employee falsely accused Miss Merle of taking off her mask to cough on a store worker. When I pointed out at least half a dozen witnesses contradicted him and asked if he was speaking for the co-op in an official capacity, he delted his post. James, I heard you tried the same thing at the QFC today. Good. We need to do it everywhere. What's that got to do with anything? They should not be pushing this on us. It is terroristic. It is immoral. It is unconstitutional. It is unlawful. And it is definitely not healthy. Looking for attention? Stunt? Now, Mike Stinson, where do we know that name? Is that the ex-mayor's wife? I'll have to look into that. We have a right to stand up for our rights. And just because this is a community that apparently just follows their next political leader and doesn't do their own critical thinking, it's not a stunt to fight for your rights. Maybe your anti-mask rallies aren't getting the attention you hope for, so you had to up the ante, just maybe. This guy's a public figure, right? That's pretty sick. Right? So if we stand up for our rights, we're looking for attention. I see. You heard wrong. Nowhere near QFC today or yesterday. Who gave you misinformation? Oh, see? Let's see. I don't know for sure if that is the ex-mayor's wife, but why would he say that if it wasn't true? I mean, why do that? Is it a publicity stunt for Mike Stinson? Is he seeking attention by claiming that there's some big conspiracy of going around town and trying to stage some mask events? I mean, why do that, Mike? All right, so Mike says, just word of mouth, perhaps a game of telephone gone wrong. Right. That's kind of funny. Sounds like someone's trying to get a job for CBS making false accusations. All right, let's see what this is. She literally took off her mask and coughed on an employee. I was there and that did not happen, not at the least. I see you work at the co-op. Is this an official statement by your employer? There were half a dozen witnesses, at least, to the entire time she was not wearing a mask, most of which she was off by herself just shopping. Really, it appeared to me she never had a mask on. Make up your mind. Did she have a mask on or not? Can't have it both ways. What? It says she was not wearing a mask. You're the one that said she took off her mask. All right, okay, so that's what the person's saying, right? That you said she took off her mask, but then she didn't have one on. So yeah, so what's the truth there? Okay. The Queen of Instant Shots. Okay. Did you go to QFC and try this today too? So you're taunting her. She has a right. She's a 20-year member. She has a right to not wear a mask. She has a right to, if it was staged in a protest, she has a right to protest. Just like Black Lives Matter, which I marched with you folks and got videos of it all last summer. Okay? Why do Black Lives Matter have a right to protest downtown Port Townsend, but one woman doesn't have a right to protest her own rights? Why? I have it on good authority that the answer to your question is no. Must have been someone else, must be going around. Would David Collins, would that make him liable for libel? If he was acting in his employment capacity, did he... Right. Okay. Let the lady speak. Okay, so James Garantino says to David Collins, interesting fact, Rachelle Merle is one of the owners of the co-op. How can she be charged with trespassing on her own property? Exactly. We shall see. Class action lawsuit? If anybody wants to do any sort of legal action, needs help researching anything, wants to protest at the co-op or picket them or anything, email me at reverendcrystalcox@gmail.com and I'll help you organize people. This is wrong. This is nowhere near the values of what a food co-op is. Okay, what is your reason for even asking? Just spreading disinformation? And how does one try to not wear a mask? My reason is simply to clear up possible misinformation. That's exactly why I'm here, Autumn, to assist with that. Documented facts, there's tons of it online, thousands of documents. Rachel Burt, did you go into QFC today without your mask on? So what? Is it law that we wear a mask in the stores? It sounds... I thought you was a freedom fighter, but you're a bully. And again, no disrespect, but wow, why are you badgering this woman in public? So what if she went into QFC? We should go into every business without a mask. Okay, do your homework. This virus is baloney. Okay, where's the flu? Have you seen how many people have died of the vaccines? And they're shutting it down in all kinds of countries? I mean, just before this happened, I was in Ireland for 4 months. They didn't temperature, they didn't nothing. And I got back from Ireland last April. This is all just a political... Anyway, this is bullying and badgering in my opinion. David Collins says to James Scarantini, that was my thought too, in concept maybe, but stockholders don't have carte blanche access to facilities. I'm sure there's case law on that somewhere. But as far as co-op politics go, it's bad luck for whoever runs the board. Yes, it is, and we're going to see if it's policy and how those policies were enacted. I'm sure that Rachel's going to have a very good lawsuit, a 20-year member, all these people ganging up to say it was right. Well, I'm not so sure that it was legal. It definitely was not moral. A lot of people think she was immoral for doing it, but she was actually moral. The masks are immoral. Okay, James to David. Unlike shareholders, a co-op member is an actual member of the premise and fixture. They are not sold a share that can be traded. They purchase an ownership interest. Interesting legal question. Miss Merle, which is Rachel Burt, attempted to explain this to the police officer in the presence of a manager demanding her arrest. She's a member owner. This is a false arrest. The food co-op will be sued, in my opinion. And I will do whatever I can to find the case law to assist. Again, if you're interested, reverendcrystalcox@gmail.com. Autumn Eve, did you? Has someone told you things about Miss Merle? Who? Let that person identify themselves and ask their questions. Right, so whoever saw her at the QFC without a mask today... Okay, so all of these people that are tattling on each other, that's what people were talking about in this thread that allegedly happened to the Nazis, right? Everybody was tattling. So you got all your friends and neighbors reporting on you. It's sick. I have questions for you too, James. Me and you, we're just waiting on Miss Merle's easy yes or no. Why are you badgering her? I went to a store today without a mask on, Autumn. Email me, reverendcrystalcox@gmail.com, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow. There's lots of other people there without masks, too. And last month I was in a different state, and nobody had masks on anywhere. So you better go and police all those people, too. And Rachel comes in, and she says... And no, I was not at QFC, and have no idea why you're even asking. So... Again, no disrespect, Autumn, but you're bullying and badgering this woman. She is incredibly intelligent. She's had an amazing life. She's done amazing things. Do you even know her? Or are you just lumping her in with all the conservatives? I only followed James's lead. I apologize. Okay. After all of this badgering and bullying, you apologize? If she'd have said, yes, I was at the QFC with a mask or without a mask, would that still have made it okay to bully her like this? It wouldn't have. It just wouldn't have. Okay. James R. Scarantino from David Collins. Taken to the extreme, co-op